support, finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in October. Learn about their bachelor's degree programs on October 20th. Explore master's degrees and doctoral degrees on October 23rd. At the open house, you can attend a session about financial aid and receive help from financial aid staff. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by Hopi artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 43. Then Tuesday, a chance of rain with a high of 55. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more regressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in all directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Howard. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, I am here with co-host Wendy Pilot, and she's kind enough to do the whole show with me today. And I want to first wish you a happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Wendy, and thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Out here in New York, schools are closed because of Columbus Day, unfortunately. They celebrate that here. It was funny, one of the posts on my Facebook feed in Long Beach, New York had like the city building, and it said closed today due to Columbus Day, and somebody commented underneath, they said you spelt Indigenous Peoples Day wrong, and a lot of people liked it. So it's happening. It's coming out here, out east. Yeah.
Well, it's really cool too to talk to you about it, Wendy. I want to talk about the weather there too, but it's seeing that you brought that up. It's really cool to talk to you about this because I really feel like there should be an Italian Day, but not by this person, Columbus, because we love Italian food. There's been great Italian inventors. not a guy that slaughtered indigenous people and stole and slavery and all that stuff.
Agree 100%, but that's not what they're taught. Children are not taught that Columbus did those horrific, horrible things. They're taught that he discovered America and made friends with the native people here and sat down to a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
That's what they're taught. So if you're taught that from a small child, I mean, and your teachers are telling you that's what you're going to believe. I know that's what I was taught at public school when I was a small kid. So I grew up believing that, not ever thinking that there was any other truth. So
that's hilarious too, because the Columbus who's Italian turns morphs into a pilgrim during Thanksgiving. It's in a month or so from now.
Exactly.
Hey, before we get deeper into Indigenous Peoples Day, and I was at the sunrise. I wanted to say service, but sunrise activity. The governor was there, lieutenant governor was there, State Senator Mary Kunesh, and a big couple hundred people. It gets bigger and bigger every year. And then I went to AIM, American Indian Magnet School in St. Paul. They had a big shindig. And then I went to Minneapolis Indian Center, where they have a big powwow. It's huge. It was so many people. But I want to get a weather report because, Wendy, it's always fun when you're here in the Twin Cities with me. You like talking about the weather. So what's happening in New York?
I do like the weather. So, I mean, a lot of people have been hearing on, the evening news about the nor'easter that's hitting the East Coast here. And I'm on Long Island, so I'm definitely on the East Coast. But I didn't know like how to explain a nor'easter to somebody. And we've been like dealing with nor'easters for, a really long time. But I looked it up and I just want to read that to you. Should I save that till later for my animal segment?
No, go ahead.
So anyway, it's a big coastal storm that hits the eastern U.S., especially from the mid-Atlantic through New England. And here's the simple version. So it forms when cold air from the north meets warm, moist air from the ocean. The clash of these air masses create a powerful low-pressure system that spins counterclockwise, and winds blow in from the northeast. That's why it's called a nor'easter. That's where that comes from. And these storms bring heavy rain or snow, strong winds, flooding, and big ocean waves, which I saw today. And I sent you a video. They're not. They're most common in the fall and the winter. And on Long Island, they often cause coastal flooding and beach erosion, kind of like a cold season hurricane, but driven by different forces. So that's what we're dealing with here. And it's lasted really a long time. I mean, from yesterday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, it started raining, the winds picked up. And I mean, today at 2 o'clock, I went across the street to the ocean where it was high tide because I wanted to see how far the water came up. And the waves were just incredible. And there's so many surfers out there because they live for this, right? They live for these waves. They don't get to see these waves quite often. So there's quite a few of them out there. And we're a little bit worried about them because there's no lifeguards on duty right now. They're sent home for the season. But there were a few people watching them on jet skis. So I think they kind of all work together and watch out for each other. And they're pretty well versed about the ocean and the tides and riptides and all kinds of things. So we just hope everybody's safe out there. But yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Well, they probably got a social media group. Hey, Wendy, before we end segment one, I want to play, I got a chance to hear the governor and lieutenant governor this morning, early in the morning, and I had to take a nap after this, but let's play them real quick before and end the segment with this. That sound good?
Great.
All right, here we go.
So whereas the state of Minnesota have been called home by Indigenous people since time immemorial. And whereas there is a rich Native American history going back 10,000 years that includes Dakota, Ojibwe, Ho-Chunk, Oto, Hidatsa, Arikara, Aninin Cree, Blackfeet, Assiniboine, the Sac and Fox tribes. And today, Minnesota is the home of 11 tribal sovereign tribal nations, 4 Dakota and 7 Ojibwe, as well as a resilient and robust and good-looking urban Native community made up of citizens and descendants of tribal nations across the country. And the name Minnesota is derived from the Dakota phrase, Minnesota Makoche, which translates to the land where the waters reflect the clouds. And whereas Indigenous people have made immeasurable contributions to the history, culture, and economy of Minnesota, including traditional knowledge, labor, technology, science, philosophy, industry, and arts.
Now, therefore, I, Governor Tim Walz, along with Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, do hereby proclaim Monday, October 13, 2025, Indigenous Peoples Day across the state of Minnesota.
Well, we like hearing that, and it was great to see the governor. He hadn't been down there in a couple times, but again, we love our lieutenant governor here, and she's we feel like she's a friend of ours. She always says hi, and her husband Tom was there, and always asking how's Wendy, and so it was really good. You're muted, Wen.
You were up at Damacaska.
Yes.
Yeah. Which was renamed from, what was it? Lake Calhoun?
Yeah, well, Lake Calhoun. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know if you saw me, but my eyes, like, I forgot. It's like my eyes popped open. When
I wasn't sure whether I was right either when I said it, so I hope it was.
Oh, you are right. Well, hey, I got some stuff to talk about, and and we're going to talk a little bit more about the history of Indigenous Peoples Day, and go from there. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and I'm with Wendy Pilot, my friend and wife, and my best friend, and we'll be right back after this short break. Please stay with us. Oh, go ahead, say it, Wendy.
Stay with us.
Yeah.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in October. Learn about their bachelor's degree programs on October 20th. Explore master's degrees and doctoral degrees on October 23rd. At the open house, you can attend a session about financial aid and receive help from financial aid staff. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
I'm I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I feel like this is a special show here. It's Indigenous Peoples Day, and Wendy's on a Monday. It's been a while since Wendy's been on a Monday. I got a few things I want to read, and one of the things was kind of what you were mentioning about, especially when we were young, and this is like from the Smithsonian. It's like, many students learn the phrase, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, but Columbus was not the first foreign explorer to land in the Americas. Neither he nor those that came before him discovered America, because indigenous people have populated the Western Hemisphere for tens of thousands of years. And that's what you were talking about, Wen. And we have these things stuck in our head. And, I got to just say this too. Like the last cigarette commercial was played in 1967. And if somebody says Winston tastes good, I can finish that off, or I walk a mile for and all those phrases from advertising and what we were taught as youngsters that was so incorrect, whether it was through John Wayne movies and those things that we were brought up with.
But I mean, just a couple of years ago, I have cousins who live down in Florida, and my cousin, she posted pictures of the kids dressed up as pilgrims and Indians. I'm sure they're still teaching that same narrative, that Columbus discovered America and he befriended the native Indian population, and he sat down and had Thanksgiving with them and shared the food, and everybody was happy. I believe that they still teach that in schools. I can't be sure because I don't know, but when I see pictures of kids dressed up that way, I could only assume that that's what they're being taught and that's what they believe.
Oh, absolutely. You got to think places like Texas and Florida and all that. I like Joey's been on our show many times. Let's just read what he put up, which is just awesome. He says, Joseph Peltier, now honor treaty law being the supreme law of the land, treaty law preempting, confining state law, and treaty law applying to on and off the reservations. And that's awesome thing to bring up, Joey. And good to see you, and good to see you listening to the show. As always, we got to get you on as a guest soon. I want to just read this too. Today we recognize Indigenous Peoples Day, a time to honor the original inhabitants of the land, the native nations who have lived here for thousands of years and continue to thrive today. And I really like that part. That holiday has began to a response, and I didn't know this, Wendy. The holiday began as a response to Columbus Day, which celebrated Christopher Columbus' arrival to the Americas in 1492, an event that marked the beginning of centuries of colonization, genocide, and displacement of indigenous people. But the first official Indigenous Peoples Day was celebrated in Berkeley, California in 1992, the 500th anniversary of Columbus' voyage. In the same year, Native leaders across the Americas gathered to promote a new narrative, one that centers on truth, resilience, and survival rather than conquest. Amen to that.
Amen to that is right. Yeah, with this current administration that we have, and, his forceful way of getting schools and universities to do what they want because of federal funding that he'll take away. There's somebody at my door. I have no idea who it is.
That's cool. The dog's protecting you, and that's good. Yeah. So Wendy's going to be checking the door, and I'm going to read some more here. But that's really interesting. I didn't know Berkeley, which has always been a progressive school, and we like that since 1992. the momentum has grown. Dozens of states, cities, and tribal nations have replaced or joined Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. In 2021, President Biden became the first U.S. president to issue a proclamation formally recognizing Indigenous Peoples Days at the federal level. And Wendy, I gotta say this real quick. I tried to send some stuff to our nation's insurance, and I thought, oh, they're off. they're celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. They're not working today, so that's
Yeah,
good.
that's right. Yes, it is.
So is that a package or your food or wrong?
No, it
Wrong
was
door?
two guys from Verizon trying, I think they were solicitors, and I'm like, there's no soliciting here. Like I can't, I thought I'd get away from that, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, they're following you. Well, here in Minnesota, the state officially replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day in 2023.
Nice.
Following years of advocacy from Native communities and allies, many tribal nations and Native-led organizations have long celebrated the day as one of the remembrance and pride, recognizing contributions and culture and sovereignty of Indigenous people. And Wendy, I got to remind you, our relative Heather Keeler, which we like to call her niece, she calls us her mom and dad in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
She, her whole political career started about getting Indigenous Peoples Day going in her community. And it
Mm-hmm.
just blossomed into that because she worked in the schools and she became an advocate. She was going to run for school board and then switched it up and became our state representative of the great state of Minnesota. So
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. I'm wondering how we could rally up the troops here. I mean, there's so many indigenous tribes and people here in New York State.
Yeah.
We need to, get them involved and see how. I mean, Minnesota did it.
Mhm.
Got the governor to get the state to change the day to Indigenous Peoples Day. Let's try and work on that here. We could, I
Well,
don't
one
even
of
know
the
how to
things
get started, but we could try.
Well, one of the things I brought up earlier that would be probably a smart way to go about it is if you are replacing Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day, also, like I said, give the Italians a day too. So at the same time of taking that Columbus Day away, you're also giving them a day out there. That's just me thinking outside the box here.
Right. The Italians do have a day here. It's called it's in the city, and they have a big feast. I could probably look it up what the name of it is, but I mean they do have that. So yeah, it could be something like that.
Yeah. Well, let me finish up here.
Go ahead.
Indigenous Peoples Day isn't just about the past, it's about the present and the future. It's a reminder that we're still here, still fighting for our lands, language, and ways of life. It's a time to lift up Native voices, celebrated Native art and governance, and remind everyone that Native people are leading the way in areas like climate justice, education, and cultural revitalization. So today, whether you attend a local event, which I was at 3, share Native stories, or simply take a moment to reflect, remember that every day is Indigenous Day when we honor our ancestors and invest in the generations to come, which we always talk about the next 7 generations here on Native Roots Radio, and our nations and a lot of tribes do talk about the next 7 generations. What are we doing for the next 7 generations? So that's great. It's what a great day.
Yeah, it's a great celebration. It really is. And I love the fact that you go there like really early in the morning to Bidemakaska on the lake. And it's called isn't it called like a sunrise celebration? Or I think that's
it's a sunrise. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Bobby 1138 or Bombi asks, how long has your family's been here? And I just want to say for 10,000 years, 10 to 15,000 years. So We've been here since the beginning of time. And then I don't know if you see what Nina put up
here,
there.
St. Gennaro's Feast. Nina. Thank you, Nina. It's St. Gennaro. It was on the tip of my tongue. I should know that. I've attended it many times in my youth, but yeah, that happens once a year.
Hey, so we're going to finish up on here in Indigenous Peoples Day, and then we'll talk a little bit more at the very end of the show. But what do we got going here in the next couple segments here? I know we want to talk a little bit about the weather and what's happening out east, but also what do you got going here?
Yeah, well, for my Sacred Animals segment, I was out today on the beach and I just saw like the seagulls and the wind blowing. We had 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts, and I'm just like wondering what's happening to all the animals, the wildlife here. So I have some answers. We're going to talk about it later.
Did you put your raincoat out and look and see what they were doing, or did you Google
I got my galoshes on and my raincoat. Wanda even has a little yellow slicker.
Yes, she does, and she looks like she's floating in that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because
like
you can't see her legs, you can't see her little feet, so it looks like she's hovering. She's a little yellow hovercraft.
Well, again, hey, it's Indigenous Peoples Day here, and we want to come back and talk about our sacred animals. And this is Native Roots Radio. I'm awake and I'm awoken, and we'll be right back after this short break with Wendy Pilot.
Stay with us.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in October. Learn about their bachelor's degree programs on October 20th. Explore master's degrees and doctoral degrees on October 23rd. At the open house, you can attend a session about financial aid and receive help from financial aid staff. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Hey, it's Tom. There's a war being waged on clean energy. A bill in Congress could eliminate the 30% federal tax credit for solar by the end of 2025. And once it's gone, it may never come back. Fossil fuel giants and their MAGA friends in Washington want to kill green energy. But you can fight back. Going solar with All Energy Solar isn't just smart, it's a form of resistance. You choose where your money goes, not to utility companies, not to fossil fuel billionaires, but toward clean, renewable power for your home. A system from All Energy Solar works in Minnesota year-round because it runs on sunlight, not heat. So even in the dead of winter, you're generating electricity. And All Energy Solar helps you save with every rebate and incentive available. This is the moment to act. Waiting means risking with this tax credit and giving the upper hand to MAGA Republicans. So get your free consultation today at allenergysolar.com and take back your power.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches. turkey, bacon, avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 43. Then Tuesday, a chance of rain with a high of 55. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and I'm here with Wendy Pilot, and it's like the old days when we were on once a week, Wendy, and we got a animal portion, and then we also did Pilot's Progressive Party, which pretty much was your show.
Wow, I like doing Pilot's Progressive Party, and I like the name of it too. But you know what? I was thinking about something during the break, and I was just like wondering how many other states in the United States have changed over from Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. So I looked it up. Did you want to hear that information? It's kind of
definitely.
interesting. Yeah, so as of 2025, at least 16 U.S. states and the District of Columbia officially celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day. And here's the general breakdown. So states that officially observe Indigenous Peoples Day in place of Columbus Day are Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, Minnesota, New Mexico, Oregon, South Dakota, as Native Americans Day, Vermont, and the District of Columbia. Now, there's also states that celebrate both, right? They're either jointly or optionally. Arizona, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, and California, starting in 2024, it replaced Columbus Day on their state calendar. So there's 16 states plus DC officially recognize Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day, and more than 20 additional states and hundreds of cities observe it by proclamation or local recognition, even if it's not an official state holiday. So I think that's pretty good. It's gaining ground. It's getting more recognition, and there's more states that sad that I don't see New York State on here, so we'll have to see what we can do about that.
It's interesting too, you mentioned the cities do it too.
Yep. Yeah,
and that's what I think State Representative Heather Keeler
hundreds
was
of
trying
cities hundreds of cities observe it by proclamation or local recognition, so that's great news. Yeah, it's always good to see this moving along. So
yeah, definitely. Thanks for that quick check on that. That was awesome. I'm usually trying to compose myself during break, so you're doing some work. That's awesome. Cool. So hey, again, what did you happen to see what the weather was when that person was trying to sell you cable? Is it raining? What's going on?
It is still raining. It is still raining. I just don't like when people, at home, I feel really bad that I had to put a no soliciting sign on our door. But if I didn't, we would get a knock on our door at least twice a week or more. I mean, there's so many people walking our neighborhood for all kinds of things, and some of it's really good. It really is. But I can't do it. I could say no soliciting except for, and then list people I would be okay talking with. But I don't.
Do you remember? Do you remember when we had a landline? We had to get rid of the landline because the only people were calling us were.
Well, I still get soliciting phone calls on my cell phone all the time, every day, at least one every day. So yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So
It is crazy.
I know. I just got an update here. Your groceries will be delivered soon.
Okay.
And yeah. So I'm always into the weather. I really love the weather. I love I like looking at the what's happening to the weather. I want to understand the barometric pressure. I want to know the hot and cold and what happens. And I don't know. I'm just always been interested in that. So it's funny that and then I was like, I kind of know what a nor'easter is, but I couldn't like explain it to you so it made sense. So I had to look it up so I could read it. But
yeah,
you know,
that does make sense, especially
Yeah.
the hot air coming from the ocean and hitting with the cold air.
I know. But yeah, it is crazy. And I know like New Jersey got hit really hard. They have a lot of flooding in the streets. There's homes that are flooded. There's streets that are flooded. There's people who are trapped. It's really bad and devastating. We're really lucky here. Our streets did not flood. We didn't get any coastal flooding. So we were really, really lucky. So, and the weather report also said that the waves will be coming in on the shore from east to west.
Huh.
So when I went down there, I was like, that's it. I could show you the video. They're moving the waves from east to west on the shore. And the wind is really crazy. I'm going to talk about the animals, but we're going to wait till next segment to really get into it. But just my observation of being on the shore today and watching the seagulls, and I've witnessed this before, and I've told you this before. I think you even have seen them do this. They play in the wind. Like they fly off the tops of the buildings, and you could see them like playing in the wind. It's almost like the surfers on the waves. It feels to me and that they're having fun. Like they're having fun, they're enjoying it, and they're playing. And the wind is really bad. I see them standing. They face the wind. Right. So the wind blows at them and then they stick their necks around and tuck their beaks into the back of their wings. So they're kind of like standing there facing the wind. And a lot of them they go in.
Is there a lot of sand blowing at them?
There is sand blowing at them, but since it was raining so much, the sand's wet. So it wasn't powdery and blowing around. It was really wet and heavy, so I didn't see a lot of sand blowing around.
Is this something newer now because of global warming, or do you remember as a younger person living there that there was a lot of nor'easters and weird stuff?
Yeah, the last nor'easter I was here to experience, and I'm sure there's been many, was when I was in pharmacy school. And they were predicting this nor'easter, and it was during the winter. And I was in Queens, New York, and at school, and they closed the school, and then we left. And I remember it took me 4 hours to get home because it was snowing. So instead of wind and rain, it was snowing, and the snow really piled up really fast. I had my little geo tracker.
Yeah.
Which was a little 4-wheel drive it was kind of like a Jeepy looking thing, but it was like,
teeny,
like a little tin can. My mother used to say, I hate that car that you drive. It's a little tin can. It's like a death trap,
Oh.
I mean, I liked it because I could take the top off and it was like open and it was cute. And that was a long time ago, that was many, many years. That's the one I can remember, driving home, and it was really, really bad. The wind, like really. And some of the New York City bridges here, the Verrazano Bridge, George Washington Bridge, they restricted travel for some tractor trailers because of the high winds. yeah, they don't want the trucks to fly off the bridge into the river. So yeah, they weren't allowed to cross today and yesterday. So yeah, I do see, like, when I look at the weather now, I'll have to look at it more, but I'm leaving here tomorrow. I'm flying out, and the storm should be done, but it shows still high winds tomorrow. So I hate that, taking off when there's high winds. That's kind of scary.
Right. And landing's the worst. So coming here will be okay because it's really, really nice here. It's a perfect Indigenous Peoples Day here.
Nice.
Morning was good. I told you this earlier when we talked off air, is that, I wonder, I'm just going to wear some shorts and maybe a hoodie. And then I looked at the temperature this morning. It was 48, and you're by a lake, even though it's in the city. It's like, oh, I better put some hard pants on.
Yeah, if anybody knows Robert, you know that a week before the first day of spring, he puts his shorts on until, like, usually the first snowfall, he has his shorts on. So he wears the shorts for a really long time.
Well, and then getting older now too, it's funny. The weather affects me, so it's like, oh, I'm a little cold here, So that's something new too, and I don't know what's about with that. If it's just my blood's not moving as quickly as it once did, or what. But I've become a freeze baby.
Wow.
I know.
Well,
ready to put the fireplace on. Oh, wow.
And the flannel sheets on the bed.
Yeah, I got to wash those tomorrow morning.
Okay, good. Because I like clean sheets. It's one of my pet peeves.
And flannel sheets too. So what other animals? I know we only got like a minute or so here, but what other animals do you think of when it comes to the beach and out east that have to hide or do something different when there's high winds and storms?
Well, quickly, because we have one more segment to go after this, but even the ocean sea creatures, they have to go down deep and get, because the pressure on the top of the water is so rough. So they have to go down really deep where it's calmer. And what happens is, I was just reading about it, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, that after the storm and all the waves come up, the seagulls are going to go crazy because they're going to be so happy because there's going to be so much stuff for them, clams and all kinds of little fish and all kinds of things for them to eat. So they're going to really enjoy, after the storm settles down and the waves settle down, they'll come out and get all the stuff that's, washed up on the shore. So
do you ever see that glass that you got is that
I never really see any sea glass here. I'm sure that there are, and you could find it on the shore here, but I've never really, you don't see it here a lot. I know on some beaches throughout the world, there is a lot of sea glass, like that woman, that artist who made the sea glass picture that I bought from her at the Minnesota State Fair. She gets all this stuff shipped from Asia, off one of the shores, and she said that her aunt gets it after a storm. The aunt will go to the shore and gather up a whole bunch of stuff. Like, her aunt gathers up, she doesn't pick through and find everything. She just sends her niece a whole bag of whatever.
Hey, we'll be right back, Wendy, with our sacred animal portion. This is Native Roots Radio.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Ever wonder how far you could go with a bachelor's or master's degree? Metro State University is hosting 2 open house events in October. Learn about their bachelor's degree programs on October 20th. Explore master's degrees and doctoral degrees on October 23rd. At the open house, you can attend a session about financial aid and receive help from financial aid staff. Discover how Metro State can help you take the next step in your career. Sign up today at metrostate.edu/open house. You belong at Metro.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by Hopi artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back. I want to...
Oh, I was going to say, in this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our Minnesota and Wisconsin wolves. Let's say no to the hunt. No.
Oh! Good one. Good one. Hey, I want to introduce my awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate many, many years. You're vegan and you really put your money where your mouth is. And also, you've been talking about sacred animals, and you were co-founder of Native Roots Radio for the last 9 years. So welcome as always.
Thanks. I don't think I have to introduce myself, but everybody knows my name is Hanajihihani. And then I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. And Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajingo, which means walks on white clouds. I am a policy volunteer for Humane World for Animals, which used to be called the Humane Society of the United States. So yeah, I work on animal issues at the local and state level, and it's always my pleasure to do that. So yeah, so we talked about the seagulls and the shorebirds. Like I have seen them play in the wind, and it's really something. Like they nosedive and turn, and they really, you could just tell that they're having a good time, you know. But what happens is, you know, you'll drive inland more because like we're really close to the shore here, like literally right across the street. But if you move inward, you'll find the seagulls. They'll leave the shore if it's really windy, and they'll go elsewhere. Like you'll find them in parking lots. You know,
or in Minnesota.
Yes, you'll find them in the parking lots in Minnesota, right? Yeah, they'll go to rooftops, and they'll just go wherever the wind is less brutal. And, you know, these animals have been dealing with storms like this for years and years. So they learn early on, like what to do to protect them, where to go, if there's like bulkhead or there's, you know, rooftops, they tuck themselves behind dunes, jetties, bulkheads, or even buildings, anywhere that breaks the wind. And you know what they do? They conserve their energy. They stop feeding and they just sit still. They often facing into the wind to keep their feathers sleek and minimize drag. So yeah, we talked about that earlier, and like how they like turn their heads around and stick their faces into their feathers that they do. And here it also says after the storm, they return quickly to the shore to feed on whatever the storm churned up. So crabs, clams, small fish, all kinds of stuff that, you know, they come up and say, what is Nina saying? Oh, fast food parking lots. Yes. See them here in Western. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, what she said just reminds me of something, and I've talked about this before. You know, crows or ravens, how smart they are. They'll go to the parking lots of the fast food places, and the crows are so smart that if they see a brown paper bag or they see a bag with the McDonald's M on it, they will go to that McDonald's M bag because they know that they'll have more of a chance of finding stuff in there than a regular brown paper bag. Isn't that funny?
French fry in the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, so like the small animals, squirrels, raccoons, rabbits, they stay in their dens or burrows, and these animals hunker down early, sealing up tree holes or underground burrows with leaves and nesting material to stay dry. Lower activity, their metabolism slows a bit during long storms so they can conserve warmth and energy. And once the wind and rain ease, they emerge to forage, usually near dusk, dawn or dusk, when the weather calms. So all these animals, like they know what to do. Like ducks and waterfowl find calmer water. They move to shelter coves, marshes, or inland ponds where waves aren't as rough. And on the other side of the island, where we are here in Long Beach, there is a bay area where it's very calm. Like the water is just very calm. There aren't any waves. So I'm sure a lot of ducks and waterfowl and seagulls will go find shelter over there as well. And they raft together. You'll often see them clustered in groups. They're called rafts for mutual protection and warmth. So they'll just stick together. And they even talk about urban and feral cats and other domestic animals. Cats, strays, and other outdoor pets usually hide under porches, decks, or cars. And animal rescue volunteers on Long Island often leave temporary shelters like Rubbermaid bins with straw for them ahead of the storms. So they'll build these shelters, like they know the storms are coming. They'll build these shelters where they know that there might be like a cat colony, a feral cat colony, and make sure that there's straw in there so that the cats can go in these, like Rubbermaid makeshift little houses to keep warm. But like I was talking before, the marine life instinctively move deeper into the calmer water when pressure drops. An early warning they sense well before the nor'easter hits. Afterwards, you may see more shells, seaweed, and even displaced creatures like starfish or sand crabs washed ashore.
We've seen the sand crabs.
Yes, we've seen the sand crabs. And the sand crabs, the seagulls like to get them. I think that's a delicacy for them. But yeah.
Did you ever see starfish in Long
Yes,
Island?
I have seen starfish. It's pretty rare, though. I haven't seen any in quite some time. Oh, Wanda. I haven't. But again, if I do, I throw them back. I don't let them, dry out on the shore. That's, killing them. That's torture. But
Well, there must be less of them now because I remember everyone just took them home back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. I mean, if it's already dead, all right. But if it's still alive, you want to, throw it back in. You don't want it to, have a slow death.
I don't know. I don't know if I know.
What's
I
that?
don't know if I don't know if I'd know if it was alive or not.
Oh,
because
you could
it
tell.
looked
You
like
could turn it.
SpongeBob.
You could turn it over and see its little tiny legs moving around. You could tell if it's alive. Totally.
See, it's got little legs. I didn't know that.
It's got like
Wow.
little. I don't know if they're called legs. I don't know what they're called, but
Well, we got a minute left, and I just want to take over again and just wish everybody a happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And really, and like you said, Wendy, I think the tide's changing and people are getting more and more hip to it. I know, like on social media, a lot of people are talking about the people's history of the United States from Howard Zen, and that really tells you really what happened back then, and not the, you know, what was it? Ocean Blue 1492. I mean, those things that were just myths to make people feel better about genocide.
Exactly. Yes, that's the absolute truth.
Well, I will be seeing you soon. As soon as we get off here, the doorbell rang during the show, so you know what that means. And then I have some cleaning duties to do before you show up home, so I'll be on that.
Awesome. Yes.
All right. Well, I love you, and thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
Happy People's Indigenous Day. If you are here, you're part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
Ever wonder how far you could go